again, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, Lok Sabha MP of the Congress Party, finds himself at the centre of controversy because he's been praising Prime Minister Narendra Modi and some of his initiatives. Now the Congress Party has warned him against doing so, and he could possibly even face a show cause notice or disciplinary action. Well, Dr. Shashi Tharoor joins us on NDTV this afternoon. How do you react to this entire controversy? You did clarify yesterday on Twitter that this doesn't mean that you've compromised your ideals. You're still very much a congressman, but yet you do have this warning, and we're hearing you could face disciplinary action.
Well, we will find out if that's going to happen. I've certainly been a bit surprised by some of the things that I'm reading in the media. Nobody has actually called me directly to say anything. It's all been done apparently through the media. But what I wanted to say was that when Prime Minister Modi invited me to join the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan campaign, which certainly was not something I was expecting. I was actually on a trip to attend a conference in Romania during Gandhi Jayanti. So I landed and found a flurry of messages, and I said, gosh, what's this? But then I thought about it, and it seemed to me that, first of all, being Gandhi Jayanti, and we all know Mahatma Gandhi was not only somebody who stood for a lot of things in India, but sanitation was a preoccupation of his. He actually said that sanitation is more important than independence. So I thought something that the greatest congressman of them all is promoting can't be something that I, as a congressman, should move away from. And don't forget, Mr. Modi specifically said in his statement, Congress Neta or Sansad Shashi Tharoor. So it was very much inviting me as a congressman. On top of that, of course, there was the additional consideration I'd had that was worth pointing out, as I did in my NDTV blog on the subject when I accepted the same thing that is being objected to for allegedly praising the Prime Minister. I had said in the same blog that this is a national program that the Congress gave the nation. Vajpayee Saab then changed the name to Total Sanitation Program in 1999. When UPA came, we made it into Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan in 2012.
So you're saying it's a bipartisan issue, and it shouldn't have become a partisan issue?
That's the way I saw it. And what is more, I mean, I was unfortunately not here. I was sitting in Europe with different time zones and everything else. But I actually saw in the media a statement by the Congress Party in the shape of Rajiv Shukla saying what's wrong with this. There are many issues in which the government and the opposition cooperate in our country. And in fact, why only our Shashi Tharoor? Other congressmen would have been willing to come along.
So why do you think that the KPCC has reacted so strongly?
I think they will really have to explain, because the strange thing is that everything that I'm telling you now was already there in the same piece that they're objecting to. The objection is to, the only place I've written about this is in fact the NDTV blog, and in the NDTV site, every point that I've just said to you has already appeared. So clearly they have read it very selectively. And I think it may reflect something else. And
what do you mean by reflect something else?
Well, I think that, I've been seen by some as a sort of foreign object in the body politic, as it were. And perhaps there's a difficulty in digesting who I am and how I conduct myself. And, obviously, to a great extent, I am different from those who have devoted their entire life to politics, who've served the nation, served the party. I have indeed had a different career. I've come into politics late in my life as a professional, and perhaps therefore there are some incompatibilities that are being manifest in these reactions. But I think if they were indeed to ask me for an explanation, I'll be very happy to give them this explanation.
So nobody has formally actually contacted you and said, explain yourself?
No, in fact, the amusing thing is that everybody who has been seen on Kerala television has my number, has called me on various matters in the past, and could have easily called me again. But they chose instead to go public. So I would read this as a different set of concerns than actually desiring a clarification from me on what I actually believe.
So in
I
other
do
words,
want to add one more thing.
No, but what you're saying, in other words, is that they're looking for a reason to go after you because they are not happy with you as Shashi Tharoor for other reasons. That they see you as a misfit in the party.
I don't know. Frankly, it's far from me to suggest a thing like that. All I wanted to say was that everyone knows the values that I stand for, because even before I joined the Congress Party, I have a paper trail going back 30 years of my strong advocacy of pluralism, of my strong, passionate belief in the idea of India, which happens to be the idea best incarnated by the writings of Jawaharlal Nehru. I have consistently been a voice not only of the party, but before that for these ideas. My open letter to Prime Minister Modi on why he has not announced any commemoration of Jawaharlal Nehru's 125th anniversary and why he never mentions Nehru's names in his speeches. I was well received in the party. I have personally myself been in the forefront of the attacks on Mr. Modi when he tried to arrogate the legacy of Sardar Patel to himself and the BJP. And therefore, for me to say that I'm not going to concede Mahatma Gandhi to the BJP seems to me to make perfect sense. This is
But would you acknowledge that there are many people who feel that you've been going out of your way also to praise Mr. Modi and the BJP since they came to power? In fact, we had a discussion on this on one of my programs. So there is a sense that people get that Shashi Tharoor is a little soft on the BJP and is keeping his options open.
Certainly not. In fact, the fact is that we don't do nuance in our politics. No one understands when somebody is trying to express a complex set of ideas. If you look at the sum total of my writings, and I indeed intend to publish them in a book so people can see them as a whole, you will find that the percentage of recognitions of positive words or actions by Mr. Modi are far outweighed by severe criticisms of both the BJP's actions, Mr. Modi's actions as Prime Minister, some of the specific decisions he's taken, and indeed some of the things he has failed to do, like failing to send a signal of reassurance to our minorities in the face of the hate campaign run by many members of his party. So I have had a very, very clear vision, and frankly, anyone who knows me, knows my work, knows my ideas, will find it laughable for anyone to suggest that I have any sympathy with those of the Hindutva.
So you're not planning to run away to the BJP?
No, I don't think they'll have me, given my track record. I don't think I'd be interested in going to them. I mean, frankly, we represent two totally different worldviews. Mine is a worldview of an idea of India, of a pluralist land, one which accommodates various ethnic, religious, caste and other differences, and which works in a sort of very 21st century mindset for progress in this country. Whereas the BJP comes anchored in a Hindutva tradition, and most of their members and their fellow travelers carry with them a sort of baggage of bigotry and intolerance that is completely unacceptable to me. So the question doesn't arise.
So you're saying you're ideologically different. Then my final question to you is that are you planning to meet Sonia Gandhi on this issue? The fact is now you do have the KPCC chief who has publicly spoken out against you. We understand that there may be a meeting tomorrow to consider disciplinary action. Will you meet her?
Well, look, I'm not going to discuss internal Congress issues. The question, again, is unnecessary to ask. Obviously, my party president wants to meet me. I will be meeting her. The issue hasn't come up so far. This seems to have been a matter that has come from the Kerala leadership, and they haven't asked to meet me either. I will be going to Kerala at the end of the week, and I hope to have an opportunity to see them in due course. But the fact remains that there is a context within which all of this must be seen, and the context, I would say, is of somebody who has been robustly critical of a number of things that have been said and done by this government.
All right, Shashi Tharoor, thanks very much. That was Shashi Tharoor there clarifying his position and saying that his criticism of Mr. Modi and this government has far outweighed his praise, and that perhaps his nuanced politics is something that people in his own party don't understand. Nidhi Razdan for NDTV.